I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Tuesday, wet, miserable, and it's a bit like West Ham at the minute. Miserable. First off, news-wise, and West Ham have given a new contract, 1 year deal to Aaron Cresswell. Now, for me, I am a bit sort of on the fence with this one, big time. Not really convinced. I don't understand it. I look at him, and I'm going to get into it right now with him. When I look at Cresswell's been a good servant to West Ham. He's done a lot of good things well, good cross of the ball, but defensively, he is suspect. He did cost us last year against Frankfurt. Whether you want to summarise it that he did or didn't, he did. He got sent off, and it cost us the game. I do like Cresswell, and I think he has done some good things at West Ham, but I don't really understand this one. I don't understand why Emerson's here, and basically Emerson could be the new left back next season. But with Cresswell being here, I don't think Emerson will be the new left back. So it's an interesting scenario with Cresswell, and it'd be interesting to know what everyone's thoughts are. For me, I'm very mixed on this one. I like him, great servant to West Ham, done good things, but for me, I think we need someone younger, fitter, fresher, and I think Cresswell's time at West Ham is done, in my opinion. But we will see what happens there with him. Moving on, though, to the game tomorrow night. And the game tomorrow night is massive. It's very, very massive. West Ham versus Blackburn Rovers. I will get to your comments shortly. And for me, tomorrow night is going to be a stressful time. If we lose the game tomorrow night, this is building up a lot of pressure for Moyes. A lot of pressure that he really don't need. If West Ham go and win tomorrow night, it eases the pressure slightly, but it is all on the Leicester game for me. And the Leicester game, we'll see how far we've come. Do you know what I'm saying? In this sort of week. If we go and put Blackburn to the sword, which I don't really believe that, then Saturday's game is massive for our season, and basically obviously before the break. And I can't stress enough how important Saturday is. Obviously tomorrow night, Brendan Diaz. You know who he is? He's the one who keeps getting linked with West Ham United every other week. I had a little debate on Twitter, I'll never forget it, and people were saying to me about they wanted Diaz at the club, and I'm not convinced on him. I remember this geezer at Nottingham Forest. He went to Blackburn, he changed his name, and now he's a world beater. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. I think he's a good player. I think he's a very good championship player, but I don't think he's a very, very good player for West Ham. And for me, I'm not really convinced on that signing. I listened to an article, and basically, I saw a video of him speaking the other day about Blackburn. He's prepared to fight to the end of the season and leave at the end of his contract. So, yeah, it is a. I don't think West Ham are going for him in January. And any reports that are saying that it'd have to be a lot of money to get him out of there. And maybe if Blackburn are desperate, they will let him go. But if Blackburn are fighting for top honours, then really they ain't gonna let him go. How do I see tomorrow night's game going? For me, if I'm being honest, I think this is a draw written all over this game. I think West Ham are a team which we just don't know what our best team is at the minute. The youth players play better than the first team, and the first team are just playing awful at the minute. I see a draw all over this. I think Blackburn's manager, John Dale Thomason, very good manager, really. He's doing good things for them up there. And Blackburn are a sleeping giant, really. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it is a draw tomorrow night, and I think it goes all the way to penalties, if I'm being honest. I want us to beat Blackburn, I really do. But can I see us beating Blackburn? I think we're going to struggle tomorrow. I really, really do. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 and West Ham to get it done on penalties. I think Ariola will save the day for us as per usual. and we will get through to the next round. But I'm not convinced. I really am not. Right, let's get to your comments and see what you've got to say. Mixed feelings about this one, mate. I have, I have, I. It's for me. It's like a game that we could do without. We could really focus on it. But could this be a game that kickstarts us? If we go and win this game and we win well, then let's be honest, it could go into Saturday's game. I think the way that the fans feel at the minute, it's very mixed. Like it's a mixed emotions with West Ham at the minute, and the fans like me who are had enough of Moyes, and the fans like Anthony who come on the show yesterday, basically there's a divide there. Do you know what I mean? Like people who are Moyes in, I think they're doing it for sentimental reasons rather than the reason that we're just not playing well. So tomorrow's game really can't come quick enough. But I want us to perform tomorrow. It's all about the performance tomorrow, really. Happy Hammer out. Hope you're well. Cresswell's extension could be Moyes' fuck you to us for booing him. It is ironic, and I will say this: it is very ironic that we bring this out today when after the last sort of 48 hours it's been very, very hostile towards Moyes. I don't agree with the Cresswell thing, like I've just said in the first 5 minutes of this video. And for me, where's the ambition there? Like Cresswell's been a good servant to West Ham, don't get me wrong. And for what he's done over the last 7-8 years, for how long he's been at West Ham, yeah, he's done very, very well. But recently, over the last 2 years, since his injury, and he got injured last year, he just hasn't been the same player. This year, he started off okay. He's been all right. I won't lie. He's been all right, Cresswell. But I think we need better than that. I think we need younger, fitter, fresher left back and right back. I think the right back problem is a major issue also. So, yeah, let's have a look. See what else you got here. I'm so fed up with us right now, James. I can't be bothered to even watch it. I will watch it because I have to. I've got no choice. I do understand it though. I do understand it. I understand the frustration, mate. Like the gentleman who come on yesterday, Peter, I think it was, who come on yesterday, he expressed his views quite openly to me and Alfie, and he just said that this is not good enough. And one thing he said that me and Alfie took away from it, because after we finished the show, we spoke about it, was West Ham don't entertain the fans no more. It's very like when you go to the football, first thing you want to be is entertained. You want the team to be on the front foot playing well. They're not entertaining us at the minute, and we look a shadow of the team that we was last year. I look at the video that we done last year of Liverpool versus West Ham, and like West Ham beaten 3-2 at home. And I look at us now, and we are it's night and day difference. Like back then to now, like the drop off is unreal. So I do understand it. I really do. Blackburn are on top form at the minute, which is typical. Yeah. Let's get down here. Peter does say it can't be a draw. No, I think it goes to penalties, mate. I really do. I think Blackburn ain't going to be easy pushover. I really don't. I really think that 2-1 to the Rovers. Yeah, happy Hammer out. Hope all is well with you. More chance beating Blackburn than Leicester, without a doubt. Yeah, I agree. We'll win 2-0. A lot of people saying they are focused on the championship and won't play their strongest team. Our second team will win. Well, I hope you're right, mate. I really do, Neil. I hope you're right. Nah, we'll win and put a weakened team out. I will get to the team shortly. I'm just going to get through your comments and see what you've got to say. This is not going to be an easy game for us. I don't think Moyes knows his best team. I agree. He really does not know how to attack a team. I agree on that. You know what I mean? Hope Skull starts. If he plays well, put himself in contention for the start against Leicester. No, I don't think there's no way a 16-year-old's going to be playing against Leicester, mate. I really even me, like I'll play Cresswell there. Do you know what I'm saying? Remember to like the chat, everyone. Like this video, people. It goes a long way. Just get rid of the 32-year-old Cresswell. Geez, why are we even discussing it? Well, he's got a new 1-year contract, mate. It's been extended, so yeah, it's a shame. But it is what it is. Never been so bothered about a game, to be honest. The club is so draining at the moment. Totally agree on that. Let's get down to this one. Cressy staying shows we ain't looking for a left back yet. Obviously, he's still decent for a bit part player, but for fuck's sake, we need improvement there. I feel this is just trying like take the sort of hostility off Moyes with Cresswell because it comes out right now. But this could have come out after the Leicester game, but it ain't. It's come out right now. Yeah, like Cresswell, it just I don't see the progression there. I see us like we're going to sign world class players, right? In Paqueta, who is a top talent. We signed Skamaka, who's an up and coming talent, who's got potential to be a world class centre forward. And then we're going to keep in people who have been here 7, 8, 9 years at sentiment. That doesn't make no sense to me. We need pace both sides at the back in this system. What is he trying to play? He was a passionate, but that guy's proper. Yeah. Let's get down to the bottom here. Let's have a look. It's sad, but Cressy is the best we have experience-wise for left back. It really is. I'm not going to start ranting, but it's all driving me nuts right now. We have to stay in the cup for sure, but the league should be priority, surely. I agree. But he takes all competition seriously. We know this from last year. Last year, League Cup, we done pretty well. We got knocked out by Spurs, and I think it was in the quarter-final stage. So, for me, it's a game we need to win. We need to win this game. Like we need to win well, and I need to see players on it from the get go. I don't think we will win this game though. I really don't. I think this goes all the way to penalties, and I think it just papers over the cracks yet again. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Cressy and Mickey should be the first to be replaced, in my opinion. I totally agree with Scribble there, mate. Really do. What's the point of purchasing Emerson? Yeah. What is the point in Emerson? That just makes no sense to me. When I look at Emerson and I look at Cresswell, I look at two players. One of them who, with Cresswell, I'll give him his due. His crossing ability is good when he is good, but it's very inconsistent at the minute. Like this man is not like a world beater defensively. Like the goal against Crystal Palace, go back and watch it. I've watched it a few times, and we've had a major debate on the WhatsApp group from this channel. And me and Tom have been going at it for about the last few hours, like saying, and Tom's been backing him up, and I've been saying, look at him defensively. And certain things Cresswell does, just defensive wise, not good. Going forward, yeah, he's all right, but he's just all right for me. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not like a world beater that I think, you know what, wow, we can't lose this man. So yeah, I don't understand it. I think it's just to sweeten the crowd a little bit, like just to take the heat off David Moyes. I will say that. Any updates on Cornet? Someone's hid his boots, mate, because he's nowhere to be seen at the minute. Paqueta and Skamaka are not right for our team at this moment under Moyes. Yeah, I agree. This week really will decide what's going on. Really, if I'm being honest. Mark my words, Moyes. If still here, we'll get Lingard in January. If that is the case, and he goes for Lingard in January, I'm completely done with David Moyes. Really am. If David Moyes survives, yeah, and he's here in January, and he has the audacity to go for Jesse Lingard, who's refused us so many times. To me, I don't want Moyes here. I really don't. Like I look at him and I think you're just obsessed, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? But we will find out and see what happens there. I bought a Corday shirt. I may have cursed him. Yeah, Cressy at the minute is bog standard, as are most of them. Yeah, I agree. Hi everybody. Moyes lost the dressing room manager on the long road to nowhere. Black Country Hammer. I totally agree with mate. Cornet's injury-prone player that we always buy. Yeah, I agree on that also. Totally agree with you, buddy. Yeah, listen, I look at it like this with Moyes, yeah. This game tomorrow night, for me, I do need to see something from him, though. But I need to see a positive team performance. If we go out, this just ramps up the Leicester game even more with even more pressure. Even more, in my opinion. Now, for me, Moyes is walking a tightrope. He come out the other day that the board are prepared to back him. under these times. But for me, if we lose on Saturday against Leicester and we lose badly, for me, it should be good night. It should be good night. Thanks a lot. I'm looking at other teams, and I've had this debate right with West Ham online also. I'm looking at other teams going out and getting managers, right? And I don't get me wrong, West Ham shouldn't be going out and changing their manager after 2 years of being pretty decent. But the drop off is unreal. The drop off from a year ago to now is like relegation form. It's like when it seems like, and I do agree with what someone said in the chat, the players have really stopped playing for the manager to a point. People might not like to admit that, but I've not seen a good performance from West Ham this season. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe in certain like cups we've been decent, like obviously the Conference League. But come on, like we've got to be better than that. If we have got to talk about Lingard for another 3 months, I will do my nut. I agree, mate. I really do. I really, really do. The board has said they are backing the manager before and sacked them shortly after. Yeah. I think it all really goes down to what happens on Saturday. But I will give my prediction, as I say. I think 1-1 tomorrow night. I think we'll get through on penalties. I think Blackburn will score first. We will kick into gear. We will score, and then it will go to penalties. Obviously, there's no extra time in this, so it will go straight to penalties. Team tomorrow, I think Areola starts. I think Aguerd starts, which will be good. It'd be good to see him in a competitive game on over here against British opposition, like English opposition. I think Cresswell could play. I think Emerson maybe will play. I don't think he risked the youngsters in this one. I really don't. I really can't see it. I think Fornells plays. I think Antonio plays. It would not surprise me if Ben Rama plays in this game. But we need a reaction. We need some sort of reaction. We need to see something that we've not seen this season tomorrow night. And I keep saying that until the Leicester game, basically, and we will see what happens there. If Diaz scores, I know my Twitter is going to go absolutely mental, so I'm dreading that. But listen, I think he's a good player for the Championship level, but for Prem, I just don't think it is for him. I will get to your final comments and let's have a look, see what you all got to say about what's going on. Pellegrini got 6 weeks after being told he was safe in the job. It's been about that for Moyes now, hasn't it? Do you know what? It's a shame because I do float around the different channels and all that, and the people who have backed Moyes for a long time, yeah, I do feel for them because they're seeing the light basically in that. Yeah, they're seeing what's going on. For me, this has been on the cards for the last sort of 6 months for me. Last 6 months, I was looking at us last year in the Prem, and I was thinking this is not good. And then, like the Europa League sort of covers it. This year, there is no excuses. This year, really, West Ham should not be in this position that they're in. They really shouldn't. They shouldn't be like with the talent that we've got. We should be beating teams like Newcastle are really, and we're nowhere near Newcastle's level at the minute. We really ain't. Diaz is going to score a weldy. God, Diaz, I hope not. That's how Dale's got to say. James, what is happening with our club? We've got the potential to do great things, but we are holding ourselves back. Honestly, mate, I've got no idea. Good question, but I've honestly got no idea, mate, if I'm honest. I feel lost as a West Ham fan at the minute. So I'm looking at us, and I just don't. I think people get a bit carried away with the conference, thinking West Ham are just going to turn up to Prague and just win it. Do you know what I mean? Like we're some sort of world beater all of a sudden. What people got to understand is if West Ham continue to play like this in the league and continue to lose games in the league will eventually take over and be priority, and the conference will be second priority because West Ham can't compete on 2 levels if we're under pressure in one of them. You know what I mean? If we go out in the conference, everyone will go, well, fair enough, we've had a good run. But if we go out of the Premier League, that will destroy this this team, really. Like it'll rip the team up. It will put West Ham back in a bad space, really, in my opinion, because the amount of money they've spent, it should not be there. Now, do I think West Ham will go down? No, I don't. I think West Ham will be all right. But I'm not deluded enough to say that there's not a possibility of us going down. Do you know what I mean? Like, 'cause as I said the other night to the lads, we're never too good. We're never too good to go down. So we've got to respect it, but we've got to sort ourselves out and fast. If we win this and Blagger win against Leicester or a draw, I can't see them handing him his P45. I agree, Miss Hammerette. I really do agree on that. I think if we draw the game with Leicester, it gives him time. Yeah, it gives him time. The only way I think he leaves is if we lose. Basically, if West Ham win, the Moyes in brigade will be there going, you know what? Yeah, like I told you, he sold it out, sort of thing. For me, if you want my honest opinion on this, do I think he goes after the Leicester game? No, I think he goes after the Brentford game in December the 28th. If West Ham go out and lose against Arsenal and Brentford over that period in December, I think it's the 28th or the 30th or something. I think he goes, and I think they bring a man. I think they line a manager up in case, and if this manager's out of work, they would love a chance of a project at West Ham. West Ham's a big club, mate, and I've said this to people before, and I've said that West Ham's a massive club, and West Ham should be treated like a massive club. And I think some people are so set in the past that they can't accept that West Ham are a big club, and we should be doing bigger things than just surviving, basically. So, yeah. Had a debate with another West Ham fan at my workplace who still wants Moyes in. His argument was the classic, who do we get next? Palace was the last straw for me. He has taken us as far as we can. We can get. Why can't West Ham go out and get a top manager? That's the question that needs to be asked. But because the way I look at it is when people say that, who can we get? For me, we can go and get anyone really if we really wanted to. Like for me, the Sporting Lisbon manager, I keep bagging on about him. He's a good manager. He's 37 years old. He plays a brand of football that is of this generation. He knows the hybrid style very, very well. He's done very well with Sporting Lisbon. He develops players. He's a potential to go on to be bigger and at bigger clubs. I think it's a no-brainer with him. Pochettino for me is a no. Because why would I want a failed Spurs manager at the club? Not for me. Tuchel, I don't like the geezer, so that's me personally. I just don't like him. So I would go for someone fresh. Do you know what I'm saying? Someone who goes under the radar. Do you know what I'm saying? And who really has got potential to go on and do good things. So yeah, let's have a look. We all know the game tomorrow will never be straightforward. Maybe they will have proved me wrong. I agree. These games is what saving Moyes. So annoying because you are playing shit. I agree on that. These games are saving Moyes. Like if we didn't have this game, we had the Leicester game. All the focus would be on that. But if we go and win this game, it's like, oh well, look, we're still in the next round of the cup. We're still in the conference. Like it sort of papers over the cracks. I agree. I really do. Badly shocking. Oh yeah, I don't. Evening all, and hi Jimbo. Thank you very much, mate. Let's have a look. Let's get down here. What we got? Let's have a look. I can't see the owner sacking Moyes anytime soon. The Leicester result, good or bad, won't make a difference. I think if the Leicester result goes bad, Anthony, I think he could. It depends how bad the Leicester result is. If we have a great win against Leicester, then he gets time till the end of the season. Right, I think. If we lose against Leicester and it's how we play, I don't think he has time really. I don't think West Ham have time because we can't keep losing like this. We're playing a system and a style that I've never seen before in our lives. West Ham have always been sort of like on the counter-attacking side, and when West Ham were playing very, very well, West Ham used to play on the counter all the time and do it very, very well. Now when we are counter-attacking, we're counter-attacking poorly, in my opinion. And we just look poor, in my opinion, going forward. Like it's very like sideways and back passing, and it's not really productive. And the 2 years that we did have where we was pretty good, obviously the first year with Lingard and everything else, I've got to be honest, it's one of the best bits of football I've seen West Ham play for a long, long time. I haven't seen West Ham play that good, really, in my lifetime. And I've seen like obviously like Carrick, Cole, Di Canio, etc. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is a problem there, and I don't know. I do feel sometimes the players are looking at him and going, not for me anymore. If we were going okay in the league and it's a game everyone would want to win, but because of the dross being served up, I really can't give a toss. I agree, mate. I agree. Hey, James, I agree. We shouldn't overlook the teams in the conference. Braga, Villarreal, Lazio are decent teams. James, who are the three potential managers you'd bring in to replace Moyes? Um, Good question. Three of them. Obviously, Sporting Lisbon, man, number one. Um, After that, it's very hit and miss for me. You know what I mean? If you go for Sean Dyche, you're going backwards, in my opinion. Uh, if you're going to recruit someone, you need to recruit someone that none of us know. Like there's a geezer over in Germany, I think it is, who's being mentioned quite a lot, who's pretty decent. But if I had my way, I would go and get the Sporting Lisbon manager out there. I think his release clause is £10 million. Yeah, or £8 million, I think it is. Now, for me, I want to sign no one in January. I'd go and get him out of there, and within the next 2-3 years, we'll be competing for like top honours. I think he's a very, very good manager. Um, Obviously, people are going to say Poch, people are going to say Tuchel. I look at them and I think I need someone who wants to prove something at West Ham, like Eddie Howe has at Newcastle. When he left Bournemouth, he had a bit of a respite. He sort of went, you know what, that's enough for me for a little while. Had a break, come back, went to Newcastle, and Newcastle haven't spent any more money than what we have, right? And they look very good this year. And I look at the players that they've developed, like Joe Linton, for instance, right, as an example. Joe Linton was absolutely poor, couldn't do anything up front. The fans were calling for him to be sold, and one of the worst signings going. They plonk him in central midfield, and now he's one of their best players, like which is amazing. So the answer to the question is, it's very, very hard for me to pick three. If I could pick one, Sporting Lisbon, man, all day long. Maybe someone in Germany, like maybe someone who's unheard of that could come in and do the job. Because at the minute, I look at Moyes and I look at the way he's trying to develop West Ham, and I think to myself, if this was Allardyce doing this, the fans would be going, you know what, nah, don't want him no more, not good enough. Like he's playing like old school football, which is not good. With the talent that West Ham have, West Ham should be like better, a lot better than this, and a lot more slicker. Like that's one thing. Like, and also sorting out Suchek in midfield will be a start. Leicester are banging in form. If you look at their recent results, I totally agree. We shouldn't be in this position with the players we've got. You don't just turn up and expect to win. You need to roll your sleeves up and put in a shift. It's like someone said yesterday on the sort of in and out debate. And I must admit, the two people I had on this, the Anthony and Peter, were bang on, like top people, yeah. And one thing Peter said and me and Alfie did say it, was entertainment. West Ham don't entertain us as fans really now. Like, and when I look at the talent we've got, Paqueta, even Benny, yeah, Benny for me, I think he's an entertaining player, but he don't entertain regularly enough for me. So, first thing when you go to a football match, you want to be entertained, and at the minute we're not. So that's a problem. Moyes is finished. He needs to go now. The sooner we stop the rot, the better. I agree on that. That's why I think tomorrow night is massive. If I'm being honest, if I'm being truthfully honest, it needs. I need to see our performances to go. Say we go and put three past them and like we win 3-0. I'll be like, all right, okay, there's a bit of confidence there now. And then there's a level. Because if on Saturday we go from that level from 3-0 looking very, very good to Saturday and we look absolutely awful again, then West Ham are like the Jackal and I team, 100%. So, yeah. Is it being broadcast in the UK? I think it is, mate. Have a look on social media, mate. You will find it. I reckon we'll lose tomorrow. Fans are going to be on edge. Yeah. West Ham's not on TV. I don't like the bold. Choice. Bold selling the club in the summer. Rumour mill yet again. Some guy from PJ Morgan is on the board of directors. That is true. I agree on that. You're never too good to go down. Years ago, we got relegated with top players like Di Canio, Cole, etc. That's when the lights went out and we got rid of 30 players that started again, Jim. I agree. I had this debate with Alfie, yeah, and that comment is commenting on it. from Gaz. Yeah, I had this debate with Alfie quite a lot. And Alfie says, "Oh yeah, it's different back then. Like times have changed." Trust me, this is West Ham United, mate. And like, if you've watched West Ham United as much as I have over the last 35 years of my life, I've seen a lot of ups and downs. And back then, we did have quality players. Even Glenn Johnson. Glenn Johnson was coming through, good player. Canute, Trevor Sinclair, Di Canio, Carrick, Cole. We had some decent talent there, and we went down on 42 points. And I'm not saying West Ham are going to go down. Listen, I'm not that sort of fucking mad. But we can't rule it out and say, nah, that's it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if we don't start winning, my opinion will change. I agree, Snazzy, but then Clan's the board. I think since the start. Let's get down here. Do you trust the owners to get the right man into the replace Moyes? Remember, Moyes was a jammy recruitment after the Pellegrini mess. I agree on that comment with Anthony. I do. Yeah, I really do. Right? Can we trust the ownership of this club to go out and find the right man? But he's got 6 weeks to find the right man. It ain't like he's got 2 weeks or a week, or trying to get a man in as fast as we can for a game. The problem I do have with it is that if someone does become available, like a Pochettino or a Tuchel, whether I like them or not, if they was to come to the club, they will do better than Moyes. They would be a better appointment. Players will get more attracted to the club. Tuchel would attract players. Pochettino would attract players. So for me, if talks were held, and for instance, someone did become available, then they would be better. They would be a better option than Moyes at the minute. Do you know what I'm saying? And the problem is, I just don't want this season to filter out into nothing. Like, because the way it is feeling at the minute is we are pinning all our hopes on the Conference League. And for me, West Ham are not winning the Conference League right now. Like, ask me in 2 months' time if you think West Ham are going to win the Conference League. I will give you a fair assessment. But at the minute, I'm looking at us and I'm thinking, we don't look nowhere near on it to win the Conference League. And we have got a bad game in us. Like, we might play one good game, but we are like a Jekyll and Hyde team at the minute. So we're never 2 games the same. Like you said the other night, James, GSB won't want to pay for a decent replacement, let alone pay for Moyes. The backroom staff to go. It's just my opinion. Yeah, I know. Fornals was really important in the counter-attack running we had. Yeah. We had more points at this stage in 1920, and Pellegrini got sacked, sent him into FC again. I agree on that comment, mate. That's a fair comment. I've got to be honest. Another good comment. We need a manager used to managing flair players. What it is, I had a discussion with an Everton fan in regards to Moyes. I know this has gone into a bit of a Moyes sort of topic, but we've got to discuss it. And I did speak to an Everton fan, and they said to me, the thing is with Moyes is he is a good manager for a mid-table side. Like, he will have his good moments, but then he will also have his moments where he will let it slip, and he will fold under the pressure, sort of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? He had a good time at Everton, yeah, and Everton fans were happy with him, yeah. But even Everton fans will say openly that they had moments in games and cups where they should have went on and beat these sides, and Moyes was so defensive minded that he'd give it away, and it proved it the other day with the substitution of Ben Rama, really, which really still doesn't make no sense to now. Let's get down here. Frank's from Brentford. At least Benny would be safe. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's get down the bottom here. Sorry if I miss anyone's comment. I do apologise. Moyes shot himself in the foot. His treatment of Benny Val, still calling Aguerd Nathan, is embarrassing. Oh, Squirrel, I'll be honest with you, that's a good comment to bring up, yeah, because we had a discussion on the player ratings, and anyone who hasn't watched the player ratings, go and watch it. It was a good, trust me, we was in very much sarcastic moods that night, especially me. But Mitchell brings that comment up well. Yeah, he really did. He turned around and he said about, why does Moyes keep calling him Nathan? That's a bit of an insult. Now, I laughed at it at the time, but if it is keep coming up, then it's not good. It's a bit arrogancy from Moyes at the minute, and I don't know where it's come from. I really don't. Let's have a look. Where we go? Apparently, Moyes could move for Lincoln in January. Don't get me started on that one. We can't even score goals much. Let's win a trophy. Yeah, I agree. GSB won't want to change if they're setting up at the end of this season. True, very true there. But if West Ham are get relegated, the price of the club will go massively down because for a Premier League club, they're worth a lot of money. For a Championship club, they're not worth a lot of money. I think Tuchel has something to prove. Maybe we will end up with Warburton in charge. Is my fear. Do you know what? That's my fear. Also, I will say that even though for how bad Moyes has been, the Warburton appointment really does not make no sense to me. Really doesn't. He comes to the club. He could go and get a Championship job. He really could. Yeah. He was at QPR. He's been at other clubs. Been at Rangers. Been at some decent clubs. Warburton. Yeah. Brentford even. But I don't get that appointment. I really don't. That one makes no sense to me whatsoever. But we will see. We will see what happens there. Moyes lost the dressing room. Players don't want to play for him. Listen to his comments on Sunday. Just my opinion, guys. I agree. I actually agree with that. I really do. I've always feared that this is happening. He's simply not the man to take us to the next level. And he's not capable of having such flair players. For me, his time is up. I'm going to. I agree on that comment. I'm going to come back to that comment quickly. I was going to read this one out and then I'm going to wrap this up. I think he has lost the dressing room already. Something ain't right in the squad. It really ain't. Now, I'm going to come back to that comment. I agree on that comment. Word for word, what you've just said there, I really do agree. I think a lot of the fan base couldn't accept that Moyes has peaked. Yeah, when people used to criticise Moyes and say, oh, this is not good for Moyes, people would shut him down and say, look what he's done in the last year. Look what he's done in the last 2 years. West Ham have finished 6th and 7th, right? Got to a semi-final of a European competition. They would use that as ammunition to throw at people who would criticise Moyes. And I'll be honest with you, there'll be a time if you criticise Moyes, the backlash you will get would be vile, really vile. Now, when I look at Moyes, I think he's done very, very well at West Ham, right? But I do think he is the architect of his own downfall. The stubbornness of the man is not good. It's not good. And let's be honest here, certain players who play in this team and the favouritism of certain players in this team is all like for everyone to see. Everyone can see it. Do you know what I mean? Blatantly. And whether or not you're the most hardened Moyes in person, yeah, even they can surely spot that the Souček thing isn't working. Even pundits are spotting it and saying it now. And if they're spotting it and we're spotting it as fans, why can't he spot it? Now, to me, I don't know what it is with him. I really don't. I would like him to turn it around, but I just don't think he can. If you want me to be honest, I don't think he can turn it around. I just don't think he's good enough to turn it around. I think once he starts slipping, he goes over, and that's it. Right? And I just don't think he will recover from this situation. And I do fear that this season is all depending on the conference. Now, for me, the conference is meaningless at the minute. Like until we return to the conference, we need to focus on the league because if we get to the last, I think it's the last 16 now that we're automatically entered into. If we are fighting to stay in the league, the conference can do one, in my opinion. Like they really can. Now, can I see it turning around? I honestly don't know, mate. I really don't. I think Saturday will be the game where it will decide it for a lot of the fans, if I'm honest. He's a bully. He treats fans and players like shit. The players are done with him. I do think, just to round this up, hi, Stephen. Hope you're well, mate. Right, I do think, finally, on this, with the Ben Rama thing, yeah, because don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be big-headed or nothing, but I did call this a long, long time ago with this agenda between Moyes and Ben Rama. I just spotted it a mile off, yeah? Don't get me wrong, the fans sort of see it for themselves on a Sunday and just said, you know what, this is not acceptable. Like, the geezer's done nothing wrong. He's been basically hounded, really, and treated really, really badly. So, I don't know what it is with Moyes with Ben Rama. I really don't. And I really couldn't. If someone would want me to answer it, I really couldn't. I don't, because he's not a bad influence in the dressing room. He's not a bad trainer. I'll never forget the game last year at Norwich away where he scored 2 goals. We win a penalty. And he's asked to take the penalty to get his hat trick, and Moyes said no. Like, and to me, if that's anyone else on the pitch, if that's Declan Rice, Moyes says take it. If that's Skamaka, take it. Like, and we're 3-0 up. And that stayed with me for a long time, that game. So I thought there is something more sinister going on, and it proved it the other day. It really did. But we will see what happens. We will see what happens there. Then we get to your final comments. Our owners won't pay him off. He'll be here to next season. Yeah, Gary, I know, mate. I know. I agree, James. I don't think he can pull us out of this poor displays unless he changes his ways. Stubborn man, mate. We overreached last season on average, Premier League players. It was a fairy tale season and never last. I take rebuilding that start to the top now. I do think, just to answer that question, right, I think the Mark Noble final season was another reason why West Ham done very, very well. Because I think a lot of them players were playing for him last season. It's just ironic that they're not playing for the manager now for some crazy reason. But yeah. Question for the chat: how many of you guys think which are Moyes' signings last season? He doesn't seem to trust these players, and in my opinion, Benny's not a Moyes signing. No, I'll be honest with you, mate. He's never been a Moyes signing. I can answer that. He wanted Eze. He got signed Ben Rama, and he's treated Ben Rama bad ever since he come to the club. Even the interview the other day with Ben Rama, he scored a good goal, but what else did he do? And I felt like going and saying to him, "What did Jared Bowen do for 90 minutes? Not a lot." But yeah, Moyes will be responsible for Declan slipping fingers. Yeah, Benny wasn't a Moyes signing; he was a GSB. No surprise, he's bullying him. It is bullying tactics. I will be honest. Moyes don't buy flair players. I think defensive players, Moyes is very good at. Very, very good at. He signs good defensive players. Let's be honest. Zuma's been a good signing. Dawson's been a good signing to a point. But I forget the ability, but for what he's brought, he's been a good signing. Even though like Souček was here, like Souček's gone down the pan a bit, but he was a good signing. I think Moyes brought him in. I might be wrong on that, but I do remember that. I think he even brought Jared Bowen in, if I remember rightly. I think they was coming to the club when Moyes arrived, so I might be wrong on that. I don't know, but the signings he has done ain't been too bad. It's just these new signings and the quality of these new signings, they look a shadow of them of the team that we are. I really do. I mean it. Like when I look at Paqueta, he'll go to Brazil, he'll smash up the World Cup, and he'll look good in doing it. And he'll come to West Ham and he'll be like not even 10% of that man. So I suppose it does help if you've got Neymar in your team and other top Brazilians. Right. Benny definitely not the Moyes sign out. I'm doubtful. Emerson, Paqueta, Skamaka were, but it might be massively wrong. Yeah. Look at Shambles Noble is returning to. I'll tell you what, I do feel sorry for Mark Noble. That is the final comment of the night. He starts his job on January the 2nd, and that boy's got to come into this again. But you know what? He's one of us, and he will understand if it's the right decision. He will agree with it. If not, he won't. Anyway, I'm going to round it up there. I really do appreciate all the people who've been watching today. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. It goes a long way. It really helps me and the lads out. Last 72 hours have been massive, really, for this channel. The subscribers have gone through the roof. I think my reaction was a bit mental the other day, but I'm a very, very passionate West Ham fan, like everyone else in this chat and on here. And I do sense that something isn't right, and we deserve better as fans. Now, you can paper over the cracks for a long time, but before too long, the cracks will start appearing again when they start getting wider and deeper. So we've got to sort this out. Obviously, we need to start tomorrow night with a win. We need to win a game. That's the first thing. And then Saturday is make or break. Like, there is no more second chances for David Moyes. He has to perform on Saturday against Leicester. And if it goes bad, you have to say goodbye, in my opinion. Yeah, I think you can give him time, you can back him. And listen, I'm not against anyone who's Moyes in, but for me, he's had a lot of time, and the whole of 2022, we've won 11 Premier League games, and that is in a whole year. That is unacceptable for this club. Not with the talent we've got, the players we've got, and the resources we've got now through Daniel Kadinsky. Say that. So yeah, it isn't good, but we will see what happens. Anyway, have a good Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow night, straight after, for the afterthought and player ratings with West Ham Online. He's going to be joining me. Let's hope he ain't talking about Moyes and how great he is. But we will see what happens. Anyway, from me to you, have a good one. I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.